We don't talk about Bruno, no. What was going on there? I just wanted to punch her in the face. Hello, my Fabaret family. Mwah, how are ya? If you're new here, by the way, hello, welcome. My name is Richard. This is Fabaret. Welcome to the Fabaret family. On this channel, we talk about everything to do with theatre and music and dance, all that kind of jazz. Okay, Fab Fam, today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts to do with the latest Disney film, Encanto. So Encanto's been out for a few weeks now, and it's been on my to-watch list, and I finally got around to watching it last night. So, Encanto, it's Disney's 60th animated motion picture, so obviously a very special celebration. Bravo on 60 fabulous animated films, Disney, bravo. And the word Encanto, translated from Spanish, means charm or enchantment, which there is definitely a lot of magic and enchantment in this film. And Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the original music for the film. So even though you might think that Lin-Manuel Miranda might be pretty flat out by now after the past year, nope, he's scored another hit out of the bag. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is giving Encanto a rating of 91% at the moment, which, yeah, pretty darn good, well done. So the film follows a Colombian family, and that family are the Madrigals, and every family member gets a special gift because of this miracle enchantment Encanto that the family has. And the family members use their wonderful gifts to help serve their community. So Louisa is super strong, Isabella is perfect, is beautiful and perfect in every way, oh yeah. Oh, and she can make loads of flowers come out as well. And then we have Camilo, who can morph into like other people, which is actually, I think, the coolest power to have. Just think of what you could do with that. We have the mum, Julieta, I think her name was, who can heal people by cooking food. Like there was this weird moment where she's feeding this guy a bit of bread, and then his broken wrist just suddenly goes, oh, it's all fine. And I was like, so what the heck? What was going on there? And then we have the main character, Mirabelle, who hasn't been given a gift. And what I love about this film is that the house that they all live in is a character in itself called Casita. I remember watching the trailer for this, and the moments with the house just stood out to me because when they're all running down the stairs and the way the house moves, it was pretty incredible. I'd never seen anything like that before in an animation. So, poor Mirabelle, she doesn't have a gift, she doesn't have any magic powers, and when the miracle seems to be starting to lose its charm and its power, it seems that Mirabelle is the only one who can maybe save them all. So yeah, it's the classic Disney story of the outsider going on a really long journey to try and prove themselves and save the day. Yeah, because Disney never do anything like that before, do they? Just off the top of my head, Moana, Mulan, Frozen, yeah, you get the idea. Now, what's interesting with Encanto is that when it first came out in the box office, it did all right, but not that great. But since it's been streaming on Disney Plus, it's found this whole new energy and hype. I mean, the fact that Disney Plus released it on Christmas Eve probably helped a bit because it was perfect holiday viewing to keep the family all entertained. But what I think sets Encanto apart is that actually the story goes to quite some darker places than other Disney films, especially of recent years. And also all these Disney films where everyone seems to go on a big long journey to find themselves and save the day. The difference here with Encanto is that Mirabelle doesn't really physically go on a long journey. She stays within the house and the village. She doesn't really go to any far off place to find anything. I mean, of course, in terms of magic, yes, she does have to go on some long journeys within this magical house, but she never actually leaves the house or the surrounding area, really, which just heightens the fascination of the whole Casita house as a character. The film, in terms of family relations, it actually deals with some darker themes than you would expect. I think darker in terms of what I think young adults and teens and adults could definitely relate to more than like in comparison with other Disney films, like for example Frozen or Moana. I was looking at the character of Mirabelle throughout the whole film, and I just kept getting Cinderella Carrie Hope Fletcher vibes coming on. I don't know if anybody else had that link, but it was just the way her dress was and her black dark hair. I just really got this essence of connecting Cinderella to Mirabelle. And actually, in some ways, the story is quite similar because Mirabelle and Cinderella both feel like the outcasts in their family. They're treated very differently because of a difference they have. Whereas Cinderella is more that she's a step relation, and Mirabelle is that she just doesn't have a gift. But also, for anyone who's seen Cinderella at the Gillian Lynn Theatre, the character of Cinderella has quite a lot of sarcastic humour and a bit of a tomboy attitude at times, and I got that essence with Mirabelle as well. I just want to talk about some of the other characters a bit as well. So the one that surprised me the most was Louisa. So Louisa is the elder sister of Mirabelle, and her gift is that she's really strong. Yeah. But what was lovely to see is that you could easily take a character like that and you could make it quite one-dimensional, but they actually gave Louisa quite a lot of depth. And in researching for this, I actually found quite a few articles about how the Disney animators had lots of discussions about whether they should give Louisa actual muscles on her arms and what her build should be like. So there was clearly a lot of thought that went into her character, and that was really lovely to see. You could have easily had Louisa as just some strong, dumb, one-dimensional character who just maybe provided a bit of humour and punched up rocks and that'd be it. But actually they really went to like the pressure that she was under, which is why the song Surface Pressure that Louisa sings, I was quite surprised and taken back. I wasn't expecting that kind of song from her. Now let's go on to Isabella, who I'm sure everybody at some point in this film, I just wanted to punch her in the face. But what was quite interesting, in the same way with Louisa, when Isabella had a song with Mirabelle, she actually revealed a lot more about herself than I was expecting. So that was really lovely to see. I mean, all the characters at some point gave away a bit more of themselves than I was expecting, but particularly Louisa and Isabella really took me back. They produced a lot more Isabella merchandise and toys because they thought that's what the little girls and kids were going to want to buy. Turns out it's actually the Louisa merchandise that everyone is after. And I think that's just wonderful because they were initially expecting everyone to get the Isabella pretty doll, but actually it's the Louisa strong, independent, but also not afraid to reveal her true feelings character that everyone wants to get the doll for. And I think that's lovely to see that kids these days are understanding more than ever before that the traditional idea of femininity and masculinity, it's not so much there anymore. You can easily mix it all up and you can celebrate it, and I think that's great. Okay, so let's talk now about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, no. I'm sure you've heard that song quite a bit by now already, even if you haven't seen the film. So, We Don't Talk About Bruno, no, is to Encanto what Let It Go is to Frozen. It's the film's biggest song to date, and I can see why, because it's an incredible music number. It's got Lin-Manuel Miranda's style of music written all over it, and the song in about 3.5 minutes goes through very different types of styling and verse and lyrics and structure and tempo, and it all comes together in this amazing harmony at the end where all the family are singing all their bits together like you would expect with a Lin-Manuel Miranda number, just everything overlapping as it reaches its conclusion. And as you could watch and listen to the We Don't Talk About Bruno song and get the gist of the whole film in about 3.5 minutes, because you go through every main character and they all give a very quick summary of their thoughts about Bruno, who is the outcast of the family. He has a gift that not everyone was very much in favour of, and they all reveal the reasons about why they don't talk about Bruno. And at this point in the story, Mirabelle is trying to work out if the things that happen with Bruno are related to what's happening with the miracle breaking down. So she's asking all these questions about Bruno, and suddenly, we don't talk about Bruno, no. Now what's funny is that when I mentioned to some people online that I was going to be watching Encanto, I got some comments back saying, oh my goodness, We Don't Talk About Bruno is a masterpiece of songwriting, and other people saying, oh, we didn't think much of that song. For some reason, everyone seems to be focusing in on this one song, and I can understand why, because as I've mentioned, it's very much lyrically and musically a very varied song. There's lots of ranges of styles and tempo and lyric structure going on in there. There's lots of character understanding, so I can see why everyone's focusing in on that song. But for me, and please don't, come after me with sticks or pitchforks or anything, We Don't Talk About Bruno was not my favourite song of the film. What packed the most punch was What Else Can I Do? That for me was the most enjoyable song, and I've already listened to that again about 6 or 7 times. Which is funny because most of the film up until that point I just wanted to punch Isabella in the face. So if you said to me that, oh yeah, the favourite song that you're going to love from that film is actually the one with Isabella, I would have told you to get packing. I mean, the whole film is full of beautiful colour and animation, but for me during that 3 minutes I was just like, whoa, did not blink at all. And in my research for this, I found out there's already been quite a few covers online of We Don't Talk About Bruno. So I'm just going to play some of my favourites that I've found.
Good to live in fear, Bruno stuttering and stumbling. I can always hear them sort of muttering and mumbling. Your fate is sealed when your prophecy is read.
So yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. It's kind of swept the world. And lots of people have been asking why that song has not been nominated for the Academy Award for Best Original Song, where Dos Oruguitas has. Now, first of all, Dos Oruguitas, it's an incredible, beautiful song. And I've read up online that basically everyone has to submit the songs that they want to be considered for Oscar nominations, and they had to get them in before November 1st, which was before the film even got released. So Disney and Lin-Manuel decided to nominate the song for submission that they felt best summarised the overall narrative and atmosphere of the film, which I can totally understand because Dos Oruguitas translates to two caterpillars. And considering that the themes of the film are about people wanting to change and are fearful of change, so they might feel cocooned up like a caterpillar, but by the end of the film they've all developed and embraced change like butterflies. And watching the Dos Oruguitas part of the film, it was incredible because that was particularly where it went to quite some dark places, and you understood more about the Abuela character and why she'd been so forceful about trying to keep this charm, this magic alive all this time. And I think that's what makes Encanto unique from other Disney films that have come out recently. And of course the film's been nominated for Best Animated Feature as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Academy Awards brings with the success. I would watch Encanto again just for the stunning animation and the music. If you've watched the Encanto film, what were your thoughts on it? Comment below. Well, that's it for me this week, my lovelies. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back next Thursday with another theatre vlog for your delectation and delight. Bye for now, darlings. Bye! How fast can I wave this hand? Yay! I'll do a Kermit. Yay! Bye-bye.